Welcome to the UDP Broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and discuss gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary, and I'm accompanied today by my co-hosts, the Nordic Cajun,
Hey, welcome.
the Eternal Barcode, Imee,
Hello.
and a special host, the explosive Bomb Redeemer.
Cheese.
We all must pay the cheese tax.
This week was a Discord week, hence the title Discordian Polka.
Oh, God.
Yes, there
He's
was a
already
groan.
winding up.
It's like, rum and coke, and the UDP project, or the UDP podcast, supports the Trevor Project in all ways. 10% of all revenue goes to this organization, and the mission of the Trevor Project is to end suicide among gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning young people. So sit back and enjoy the show. So,
Before we get started,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Go for it.
yes. So last week I fucked up, and I need to apologize for it. So last week during the show, I was discussing how dolphins aren't exactly the nicest creatures on the planet, shouldn't really be trusted, and they're actually really, really horrible creatures. And then I brought up the subject of Adelie penguins, and they're worse. While I was commenting about that, I made a statement about how they treat other members of their species in regards to basically having sex with anything that they can, they will. Well, it's factually true. The way I said it was not appropriate. It could have easily been taken that I was making light of sexual assault or sexual violence, and that's not what I intended. Sexual assault and sexual violence have no place in society, and it's not something to be taken lightly. So for that, I'm very sincerely sorry for that. I'd like to apologize to our audience and to anyone who may have been upset by my comments. Again, it was not something I was intending to do. I have no excuse for that, and I need to be more aware of the tone I'm using, the delivery I'm using for what I say. Secondly, I need to thank Raina for pointing this out to me and holding me accountable. I had no idea what I said could have come across that way as making light of sexual assault or sexual violence. And I just want to say to her, unfortunately, she's not here tonight. Thank you for holding me accountable. And I sincerely mean that. So again, I screwed up and I'm really fucking sorry.
Bad Imee.
That's right. Discord now has soundboard items, so there's going to be a lot more of that. I don't have
Discord
mine up,
has
so-
more than soundboard.
Oh,
Holy shit. Where do we start?
The laundry list this week, yeah?
well,
Do I need to warm up the bleep button?
have a
No, I
bleep
already
button?
screwed that up.
Yeah, we don't bleep it here. We're
Yeah,
we're no filter here, sir.
I could use it. I just never do because no. What is it's a super reaction?
oh, super reaction. Well, Nitro members can do super reaction. You get 5 a week, which is weird.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can't do it on mobile. You have to do it on your actual thing. So, like here, I'm going to go to our general here, and I'm going to react to Drew Zidu with a super reaction. Hit reaction. You go to super reaction, and I've used all
No.
mine, and it puts extra
I wanted to show
animations
you,
on it.
but I've hit the limit.
Yeah, pretty much. So I've used all of them. You get 5, and that goes pretty quick.
At the limitations of what my limitations can do.
Indeed. So,
Wow.
where can we start? I know that there was an incident where Brad Smith was saying, "Hey, we've got some issues with that Russians are potentially penetrating our gaming communities for the sole purpose of presenting misinformation and all kinds of other stuff." So we can start there if you'd like, Imee.
Sure, you can lead us off.
No, you.
I after you, I insist.
All right, well, let's do this. So, let me find the article real quick. Well, no.
See, I'm just as unprepared as you.
Yes, yeah. The show card didn't show up. That's fine. But no. But he was talking about that. This is a thing, and this was shortly before the big break with Tixera, right? And he was like, "Hey, this is a thing that we should probably be looking out at. It could potentially present a lot of misinformation. And right now, as it stands, we're already in the cusp of a generation of misinformation and distrust of anything we hear because we don't know if it's real or not, between AI, deepfakes, and all kinds of other stuff, right?" So he was saying that, and then it came out that there was a heavy intelligence breach via somewhere. Like, where did it come from? Is it a 4chan? What's going on? Right?
Well,
And
4chan did pick it up.
It must be the tiki-taki. It has to be the tiki-taki. That was the big...
Nope.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying the old men are just shaking their fists. It's TikTok, TikTok, TikTok.
absolutely. Because obviously China. You know, I mean,
China did it all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a foreign actor trying to, exfiltrate data. And nope.
Mr. CEO, we see that you are using music for people to, hold on, flip, dance to. Is that allowing for information to be sent to China?
Yeah, does it use your phone's Wi-Fi? Does it drain your battery? Does your phone need a battery to work?
And I got to put a little icing on what you just said, Lumi. One of the freaking politicians was like, "Yeah, every time I open TikTok, all I see is these half-naked dancing girls. How is that supposed to be good for the American kids?" I'm like, it's only there because the algorithm knows you look that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
If it's on your For You, yeah, so I sat there, I'm like, Anyway,
yeah, it's right up there with you. Don't realize how much your phone listens to what you say anyway, right? So it's just like, hey, I was thinking about putting sun tiling on my gutters on my house, and Facebook itself will start giving me advertisements for something similar. I'm like, ugh, it's terrible. So, but beyond that, there was a huge leak, and this is beyond like War Thunder or anything like that.
They're up to 5 leaks so far.
War Thunder's up to 5 leaks, and this is just on the Reddit forum?
No, this is on their official forums.
Oh, their official forums.
Yeah, to the point where it's like guys are just trying to wave their e-peens around by saying, "I know more than you," or they get really mad at the War Thunder devs for not doing specific things. Well, one of them was the Challenger tank.
So actually,
yeah, that's literally what it was. So some idiots, actually War Thunder devs, because the gap between the turret and the actual main body of the tank on the Challenger tank in game is too big, and of course the devs can only go on what's public, and so these idiots posted actual secret documentation on the tank specs themselves just to win an argument.
See, we told you. I know that on Twitter, I'm super active on Twitter on the fuckery that's going on out there. Like, if you want to see some super WTF-ery of what's going on with the world and everything else, like he's certainly a guy to follow, which, by the way, IME21, I'm going to plug your Twitter here real quick. But there was something interesting that you had posted earlier today that kind of hit me. It was like the difference between what was going on with Tixera and some other guy who was a whistleblower. Do you remember that repost?
Yeah, so Alexander Vidman, the Republicans love to say that he's a horrible person. He went through the proper whistleblower protocol to make sure everything was done correctly per the law, the exact way you're supposed to bring wrongdoing of the government or government people to the light of law enforcement. So he did everything right. And Republicans are still trying to vilify him because it goes against Lord Cheeto, and you don't go against Lord Cheeto? ?
Nobody crosses Don John.
This guy's a fucking clown.
Nobody crosses Don John.
Don John.
I don't have any words for that. Jeez. Well,
Yeah, so basically, it was a giant shit show. And what ended up happening is this idiot, as a little segue into our next part of the discussion, decided that posting hundreds of documents into a Discord forum or a Discord server that he ran that they used to share, awful memes, mostly racist. And he decided it was a good idea to post classified documents because at one point he was like, you guys are a whole bunch of betas and I have top level military security clearance. Someone said the equivalent of Pixar didn't happen. I won't use the word that he used, but
No, we will not. But it was still funny.
it was basically Pixar didn't happen.
It was
so this kid.
It was the stereotypical neckbeard bait, is what it was.
Yeah, and it was entirely 4chan bait. So this idiot decides over a period of months, which, if you want, I'll go into a rant about why it should have been discovered sooner. He posts hundreds of documents detailing current combat intelligence from Ukraine, apparently huge lists of people spying for America, both against allies and against foreign adversaries. Hundreds of these documents were posted, and they eventually made their way over to a Minecraft Discord. They made their way to 4chan, and they made their way over to Russian Telegram channels that were also doctoring the documents to make them look really bad. And it was really funny. It was they essentially hired the Iranian Photoshop army. And for those of you who understand that reference, congrats, you're old, just like me. And it was just insane to know that this guy has been doing this. I don't know what would possess someone with that level of clearance to go, well, actually, like, there's nothing worth, because right now he's facing 15 years in jail. Nothing is worth 15 years.
Not regular jail, military jail.
Yeah. And the big distinction between civilian and military jail is military jail is insanely harsh. And it's not like violent harsh. It's you have a routine and you must adhere to that. And you will even, and I'm basing this off of stuff that was talked about at work, well, in the news actually in Canada, about Club Ed, as it's nicknamed. That's the Edmonton military prison. You have specific lines you have to walk on as a prisoner. You are not allowed to go off those lines. Otherwise, PT ensues, and PT is not friendly. You have to shine every knob, anything that can be polished has to be polished. You know, you're sweeping, you're mopping like dozens of times a day. It is housework on steroids, and you do that day in and day out. Like, there is no, I'm going to go watch TV. No. You get to go polish more brass. So this guy is now getting 15 years of that.
What, was it worth the lulls, my man? Was it worth it?
Was it worth being able to say, oh, I'm not a cook? Sorry, I used the word I said I wasn't going to use, but
wow.
Holy shit. Like, you just
broke your own rule.
Yeah, I did. But, like, holy Christ, what would possess you? And to top that off, apparently he works in IT. And
oh, God.
So here's the thing. And obviously, you can 100% guarantee they are not following this. First off, from my little short bit in the military as a reservist, if things are classified at any level, it's need to know. And you restrict the fucking access to people who need to know. And then you tie that into IT security, which is the principle of least privilege, which means basically you have the least amount of privilege to do your work, whatever the fuck it is you're doing. Even as an admin for the company I work for, there are restrictions to even what I can do because I don't need that level of access. So this guy had access to hundreds of documents simply because they were there and he could see them. So to me, from an IT security standpoint, there was no auditing. There was absolutely no logging of any kind. Like, and by auditing, I mean like checking in documents, checking them out, checking them in, how long you're reading them for, what you're reading, what dates and timestamps did you access these things. And if he was able to take it out of that environment, that also tells me that they haven't blocked USB mass storage devices from being enumerated or basically detected. They haven't blocked writable media like DVD player or DVD burners or something like that. Something was allowed to be connected to that system to pull that data off of. What the fuck?
Yeah,
seriously.
We're talking about the U.S. government, though.
Yeah,
half these people don't know how to work an email, and you're thinking they have the levels of knowledge to actually know about this kind of
people don't
thing?
know how to use a toaster.
This is very true because I did watch a really funny rant on Twitter, which I have posted to the server here.
I actually would like to play that rant, honestly. Is it cool?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I don't have permission from the... I don't have permission from the guy to play it, but it's on Twitter, so...
Yeah,
sure.
And it's on TikTok. It's you can definitely find it. It's all over the place.
Yeah. There are apparently people in your Congress who are older than television.
Yes.
Yes, there are people who were alive during the Jim Crows. The old ones, not the new ones. The old ones.
But yeah, if you want to play that, the audio is fantastic.
Oh, we're gonna do more than audio, so give me just a second. Let me jump into here.
Oh, get the popcorn, boys and girls. We watching videos.
Holy Christ!
Answer it.
It's just obscene that no one caught this, and apparently this went on for months. How did this person not get caught for months? And there's the guy. This is a great video. This is a great video. So, for you guys that don't have the stream on, you should totally listen. So here we go.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It was a Discord server. It was a Minecraft Discord server.
Oh, turn it
Hundreds of documents putting our entire spy network at risk.
He's screaming.
And it was not TikTok.
What's that?
You're gonna have to stop that, and it's too quiet on the stream.
It's too quiet on the stream. Interesting.
Actually, here, well, hang on a second. Let me turn up my stream because I'm an idiot.
I did the same thing. I literally thought about it too.
Because if you look here, like the volume's all the way up, and
yeah,
and I've got my headset at okay, all right, all right.
Sorry.
Let's go ahead and here we go.
It was a Discord server where people discuss Minecraft and share racist memes called Thug Shaker Central. It was full of a bunch of teenagers. And one teenager was a 21-year-old guy named Jack Texiera, and Jack posted on there trying to get clout. Jack posted, all you guys are nothing but a bunch of betas. I have high-level military clearance. And somebody replied, no you don't, you cuck. So Jack started posting pictures of Ukrainian battle plans, lists of spies all over the world that are helping America. Oh my God! He didn't do this for political reasons. He didn't do this for an ideology. He did this because he's fucking sad and had access because he works in IT. And everyone in our government's so old, no one thought, don't give the 21-year-old guy who's on Discord servers all day access to the United States worldwide intel network. Now, we're going to have to sit through a House committee of new congressmen and senators sitting there with their questions for the CEO of Discord. They're going to have to say things like, I see on Discord you have a thing called Discord kittens. Tell me, does uwu mean a good thing? Yes or no? That's what we're going to have to sit through. There's going to be a member of Congress who's going to have to ask the question. We were reading through the chat logs here, and it says, Tracer Rule 34 Futa. I was going to try to look that up on my phone, but my intern knocked my phone out of my hand. Is that part of the Chinese spy network? I'm dead serious. This is so dumb.
Yes.
And it's because our government's run by the oldest people possible while our technology has been advancing faster than they ever have. We have members of Congress who are older than television.
There you go.
Oh man,
That's the state of our government, boys and girls. The regime being taken down by a 21-year-old on Discord.
like I don't understand how this guy had access for that long.
Well, I'm curious
do that.
because stuff like that, like those sites are pretty much blackout sites. You can't bring any outside electronics in. And reading some of the articles, he was actually like handwriting notes and taking that out, which I don't know how that works.
Oh,
Like,
good lord.
That's because no one's directly supervising him.
yeah, and whose fault is that really? I know that they're like trying to dump all this on him. Sure, yeah, no, fuck that guy for like, hey,
No, he's a class A dick. He puts a lot of people in danger by doing the bullshit he does.
right. And but why was he able to do that is the real question. And it's due to what Imee said, right? Access of least privilege.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's principles of least privilege are ignored all the goddamn time, and it just breaks my brain. Because this is what protects your intellectual property as, a private company. This is what protects your state secrets as a government. Like, you can't just let someone have access to shit because they sit at IT. Like, you have to have what's also known as defense in depth, where you have multiple layers of security which prevent this sort of thing or try to mitigate the chance of this. But for this to happen for months entirely tells me nobody was doing their fucking jobs. So everybody in that chain of command who had any supervision of this guy needs to be charged as well.
Yep.
For I think under the National Defense Act in Canada, it would absolutely be a 129, which is conduct prejudice to the good order and discipline of the Canadian Armed Forces. I think there would be a few others. I would have to go read the National Defense Act again. It's been at least a decade since I've read it. But it's just, how did these people not realize that this was going to be a problem?
Because they can't even turn on their phone properly. That's why. They're too old to realize that there's an issue that could be within their own walls, let alone within their own computer that's sitting on their desk.
Leaders in the military aren't that old. That's Congress. That's the Senate.
Fair, but yeah, that's
Now,
fair.
some of the generals in the military, yes.
yeah, I think it really comes down to policy and whatnot. And anything with the government moves slow, so chances are they're running off policies from the 90s, as far as I know. I have no idea. I mean, we're talking about the government plus the military, and a lot of this is still kind of new, but it's actually made advances, but it's probably advanced further than the policies ever have. The rules for us as public citizens advance really fast, and it's tackled as it comes down to it. But as it doesn't happen as often in that space, but more often now, come on, think about it. Somebody had access to that stuff between War Thunder, actual military documents, things like that. I mean, beyond Tixera, right? Like, I'm really curious how he got those images out. Like, he couldn't bring his cell phone in.
He obviously did.
I mean, maybe he bum smuggled it. I have no idea. Like,
It's possible, but what's likely is that the dude just took the shit and nobody decided to enforce rules. If you've got areas where you say you can't have cell phones, you have to enforce that. And when someone breaches that protocol, you have to discipline them to the severity of the infraction.
oh yeah.
If it's a simple, so I've done contract work for other companies that have had NDAs when I've walked in the door and they've taken my phone. And part of that NDA is if I were to take any of that information and share it publicly, I'm liable criminally under Canadian intellectual property laws. So I have a great incentive to not fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But these people are doing their jobs and they're enforcing that. When I walked in the door, they would say, you need to sign this NDA and you have to turn over pardon me, all electronic equipment. And it was usually like my own personal phone and then my work phone. So I would turn those over, and they would return them when I'm leaving, but I would never have them on me while I'm doing the contract work. And it's like, how was this even allowed to happen? Yeah.
Simple. He went into a skiff. He was allowed to go into a skiff, and nobody fucking checked him.
Well, and the other thing is, how, like, so yeah, there's gonna be, like, depending on the size of the skiff, they can be really big, they can be really small, but at the same time, you should never be fully alone by yourself with intellectual property, or in this case, state secrets. Like, there should always be a buddy system to make sure you're not trying to fuck people over. In this case, he wasn't trying to fuck over his country. He was just trying to prove that he had top secret military clearance because he's an idiot. But at the same time, it's like, why was he left alone, completely unattended?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have an inherent level of trust, but at the same time, you have to protect yourself, whether that's, for me, intellectual property, or for them, it's state secrets. You can't just let someone run rampant unchecked for hours on end, or who knows how long this guy was sitting around doing whatever he wanted.
The only thing I can imagine is he was somebody that's been on the payroll for a hot minute, and he like knows every Tom, Dick, and Harry in there, and they just wave him past, which like you said, shouldn't happen, but
Yeah.
that happens a lot more often than you think in any kind of.
Oh, I know it happens, and that's when companies get screwed over.
Or nations at this point.
Yeah, in this case, it's an entire goddamn country that's screwed over.
Yeah,
because
dude's what, 21?
Oh yeah, he's not going to see anything until he's like 36.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
Dude hasn't been around in his branch or department or whatever long enough to have that kind of a relationship with people, because at 21 he would have just been out of high school at 18, 19, and in the military for like 3 or 4 years at this point.
Well, maybe he just rolled really high on his charisma checks.
There we go.
Fucking must have.
Got to bring in some gaming in here somehow.
Critical job.
So what's gonna be really funny is if they do an investigation, which they should, I wonder how many people are going to get charged as well.
I'm looking
Just
forward to
for
seeing that.
Isn't there
because
already
how many
a
people had to
Republican-
fail at their jobs to allow someone to be unattended for hours on end and to bring in something to exfiltrate data, even though like pen and paper? Why were notes not being checked? Like, why was there no audit to prevent you from taking paper out of the room type thing? Like, you shouldn't be able to bring anything in unless it's accounted for, and you shouldn't be able to take anything out unless it's accounted for.
Well, take a look at the previous presidency of the United States. You know how many pieces of paper he was able to just walk away with?
30 some odd thousand, was it?
How much you want to bet? Most of the rules and regulations regarding confidential materials were laxed.
Yeah, because president, right? Reading up more on this Discord bit, it wasn't just this incident, right?
No,
It was
we've
just
had multiple incidents with information being stolen or walked away with out of skiffs.
well, this was the biggest, right? But he's been doing this for months, and it was just with his buddies that they made a
Mhm.
Discord server with and made racist jokes, and it was like talking shit, like buddies do. And regardless of what your level of trust is, which, by the way, I hope none of you ever trust me, and I will never trust any of you with any secrets that I have anywhere.
Nope.
Right? You know my real name, and that's about it.
As far as we
So,
go.
Yep.
It's
We don't want to know.
it's Steve.
Yeah, it's Steve. Yeah. So.
Unless we know, the more we can protect you.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah,
Gorgonzola.
but he's been doing it for quite some time, right? And yeah, he was challenged, and it's his bad. He doesn't know, and that's just the nature of being online. You don't know who you're talking to. Cajun could be a dog. Heck, we're already claiming bombs and explosive, and IME's a barcode. I mean,
that's fact, but hey.
Please don't tell the TSA.
So-
Three kobolds in a trench coat.
So
That's
what's really funny is the fact that you're bringing up don't trust who you're talking with online, because no word of a goddamn lie. When I used to play WoW, I think it was during Legion, the guild I was a part of, there was two guys who liked to go at each other, waving their EPs around about who is the bigger, badder person because they, whatever their fucking jobs were. One guy went as far as saying that he physically escorts classified information from one base to another and told us the days of the week that he does it.
you don't do
What
that.
an absolute
Ever.
moron.
And he was going from, he's a military contractor, so he's going from one base to another, and apparently all he does is guard and transport top secret material. I distinctly remember having a conversation with someone else who was in the U.S. military. He and I were talking. I'm like, these two idiots have no clue what OPSEC means. And he's like, I am dying inside. Like, holy shit. I think I actually still have the Discord conversation with this guy going, what the hell?
Careful. Canada might want that.
That's intense. That's super intense. Yep. Keep your online identity and your real life identity separate always.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm a bomb.
That's right. And that's why I'm a horrible Minecraft knockoff character. Artfully drawn by our own artist Pogo and R. So
I'm currently a knockoff All Might.
which, by the way, I think that the image is finalized. I really like how she interpreted you, Cajun. Like that was really
I do too. We might need
Fantastic.
to find a way for that to be like my official art now.
good. Well, you can commission her. She starts at 90 pounds, which is about $110.
That might be something I have to do. Because I love it. I'm looking at it again right now. Y'all are going to enjoy it when we get to release it. It's really pretty.
Yep. The moment she packs up the PSDs and sends it to me, I'm adding her to the artist section of the of our Twitch channel, and then we wait for the second piece to be done, which is going to be amazing. So, but either way, yeah, don't share your shit. Sorry,
Especially not
Airman
classified
Tixera, and he's National Guard too, right? That's part-time military job.
Well, he's part of his well-regulated militia.
Yes.
Lord.
That's what your National Guard is. It's your state-level, well-regulated militia.
Apparently not well regulated enough.
No, but it's also a informative side shot at
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Where's our
Isn't
sad
there-
trombone noise? Jeez.
Womp, womp, womp. Isn't there also a Republican, I think, senator or congressman who is sort of, I want to say, in support of this guy, but
Oh yeah.
necessarily trying
Yeah,
to play
they're still
down what
they're
happened?
yeah.
Like,
MTG.
taking the, this could adversely affect his career if we punish him, it was a one-time mistake.
Oh
maybe
no!
we should
Smash
just
that
let it
guy against the
slide.
ground and smear him
Oh.
as far as you can. Like no.
Absolutely.
No. He broke the very two rules that we try to live by here. Like Lumi said, don't share your private stuff and don't be a dick. He
Yeah.
broke both those rules.
First rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, and that's effectively how you have to take it.
Yeah.
He did all kinds of fucking around. Now it's time for him to find out.
Let me see here, because I'm looking for the post that Imi put up, where it was talking about how they're trying to de-vilify this guy, right?
Yeah.
Between a whistleblower versus, let's see, I'm trying to find it right now. Where is that post? Because it was interesting. Arkansas makes it illegal for minors to be on social media without parental consent. Republicans are pushing to make child labor easier. This is Jesus Christ, Imee.
Imee don't pull punches. He just lines it up.
Platforming hate speech is not
Welcome
impartial.
to
Hold on.
America. Hope you like your rights.
I can't find the damn thing because there's. So if there's one thing Imee's really good at, it's shit posting, and he posts a lot.
True.
Wait, what was it I said?
It wasn't. It was a link to an image where Republicans are trying to get the whistleblower dude in the same level of trouble as Teixeira.
Yes, Vidman, Alexander Vidman. Yeah. Because, yeah, they want to basically say that he's done what this 21-year-old kid did, essentially. So even though he did the whistleblower route and did everything properly, he's worse than this other guy because this other guy, whatever reason they want to make up, isn't as bad.
Here we go.
I don't know.
This is by Ed. Was that Krasenstein?
Krasenstein.
Yeah,
Krasenstein.
Steinstein. Okay, yeah. Republicans are now trying to compare the Honorable Alexander Vindman to the traitor Jack Teixeira. Don't fall for their false comparison. Facts, while Teixeira deliberately leaked, and that was the whole point, right? Like, there are stories and accounts, and I'm pretty sure Discord was just like, they were hands off. It's like, oh, you want information? No problem, U.S. government, because they don't want no part of this, right? While Teixeira deliberately leaked top-secret national security documents in order to appear cool to his friends, Vindman went, here we go. It had to, like, load up the rest of it, which is weird. Vindman went through the proper whistleblower protocol in order to provide legitimate evidence in an impeachment hearing. So, like, he did the things. He found it. He was like, hey, this is happening, and went through the whole protocol to make sure that he did what he was supposed to do. Teixeira was just like, yo, check this out. I've got information of this. I mean, we're talking about flight paths for North Korean missiles. We're talking about losses and ammunition usage for Ukrainian coverage, which I think reading further into a lot of the stuff that was updated between, I don't know, Wednesday to now, like there was how many casualties there have been, which has been the Russian government, of course, has taken it and bought it and photoshopped the crap out of it, so the Russian losses don't look near as bad. And mind you, while the information may be like months old, it's still relevant because it still shows what's going on. And of course, the spy network stuff, that's absolutely terrible. Like, they put so many people at risk, and this is on top. Like, if there was ever a fuck up at a global scale, this is it.
God, I love all of the people who, in recent history, are essentially just committing treason against the United States. And we're just like, nah, it's no big deal.
It's because a very specific faction of your country has completely bought into authoritarianism and doesn't care so long as they can keep power.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter about you. It matters about how can we control this big beast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want.
Keep our pockets full.
Yeah, I don't trust either side for any reason whatsoever. I try to make sense of all the information and pick out what I think is right. And even still, you don't know. And again, in a generation of misinformation, you just don't know. You have to make the best decisions for yourself, which makes the most sense. It's like almost dealing with a kid telling you something stupid. And I mean that, okay, like one of my kids came home and was like, yeah, I got a detention because I had my laptop open in PE. What? Run that by me again. He goes, yeah, no, I was just sitting there in PE, and I was like, oh, I got to complete this thing. And I opened up my laptop, and I went to go complete it, and I got a detention. I was like, okay, that sounds like crap. So let's talk about this. What actually happened? Turned out he left class to go to a water fountain outside of the classroom, to go get water without permission, and has been talked to and warned and everything else. He was like, yeah, it's against the rules. I had to go like dig up policy on this. And I like completely and utterly dismantled him when he got home off the bus. It was ridiculous. It was just like, so I want you to understand that this is not a thing. We can't do this. So let's be honest. No punishment if you tell me the truth. And he tried to not so hard, and I was just like, well, the big thing was, so if you got a detention, I need the carbon copy of the detention slip because I know that's what they do. He goes, oh, they didn't give me one. I'm like, what? He said, no, he just said I had to show up for 15 minutes after school. I'm like, that sounds like bullshit. Who? My PE teacher. Okay, so everything is recorded, bro. They can't keep you. And if there's no paperwork telling me where you're at, you're not going. And he started crying because he was trying to skirt by like getting this out of the way without me knowing. And he goes, yeah, is the offer still on the table of not being in trouble if I tell you the truth?
It's a little late now, buddy, but...
And I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'd rather you be honest with me. I told you that you wouldn't get in trouble. I might be a little bit pissed, but I'm not going to do anything. And he told me it was exactly what I told you. He left class, and that's just where you can't trust anybody. You have to like make your own decisions. That's why I hate people like Rush Limbaugh and loud people like Trump saying stupid shit, and just it's terrible. I was gonna actually push.
What's his fuck on Fox?
Oh, Carlson.
Yeah.
Now,
Smuckers Carlson.
I was gonna push to like talk about the Nintendo Russian thing. I just can't even at this point. So far, this Discord conversation has been absolutely really good. And it's gaming related because we all use Discord. We are currently using Discord to bring you this podcast live.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really the point. Like our favorite tool may come under heavy scrutiny. I think even Imi on our Discord server has put up a notice saying if you do, no, it's on Game Junkies too.
On the Game Junkies, yeah. I'll post it in ours, but I got so mad. I said, this is a reminder for everyone that if you somehow come into possession of classified documents, regardless of the originating country, do not post it here and contact your local authorities. I shouldn't have to say this, but apparently some dumbass thought it was a good idea. Yes, you will be banned if you post classified material here, and authorities will be contacted.
Indeed. And you know what? This just goes to prove that every warning label you have ever seen that sounds stupid and common sense was done at one point.
Yep, because some idiot.
My favorite is the Swedish chainsaw that says, please do not start while facing blade towards genitals.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep, you can go look that one up. It's also why stupid laws exist. You can't ride your horse on 6 p.m. on Sunday through town center while smoking a pipe. Like really specific stuff. Somebody's done it. Same thing with warning labels. Like don't take anally. Like who would take this anally? Like it's Tylenol.
Don't
Stop
eat
it.
Tide Pods.
Coffee indeed hot.
Okay, so the Tide Pod things, it does say do not eat, seek poison control on it. That was just stupid people going, oh, look what I can do. I can make suds come out of my mouth.
So my ex, one of her friends ate a Tide Pod and spent the entire evening puking.
Well, it's on top of it being caustic. It could really do some damage to your esophagus.
Oh yeah. Like this person was like, I'm going to eat a Tide Pod because everyone else is doing it. I was flabbergasted.
Hey, if I could record this, I'll get lots of views.
Do it for the vine, do it for the
Social
vine.
media is a goddamn cancer.
Indeed. So.
But what are we using? Social media.
That's right. This is the ultimate form of social media where we get to talk to people. Live. We can stand on our soapbox and go, don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or
I
behold
will absolutely
the
soapbox
fuckery.
the shit out of this.
Indeed. I know we've been kind of one-sided on this, but it's
We can
very
stand
important.
on our soapbox and just go, bad.
For those of you who play Space Station 13, if I can find the button really quickly, which I can't, so, well, there we go. The admins would like a chat with you.
Well, I think we're approaching the end here. We've spent literally the entire podcast talking about this. I'm all right with it because it's super important. Don't do stupid shit.
Mhm.
I think that's been the theme for the last 29 episodes, including this one, is just don't do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Don't be racist. Don't be homophobic. Don't be sexist. Don't do stupid shit.
Don't be a
Lessons
dick.
to walk away with. Don't be dumb.
So, other than that, let's just go ahead and just get our round table out of the way. Let's get, because Cajun has to work tomorrow, so we're going to start with him first. And if you want to duck out, Cajun, you can.
All right.
right.
Let's see. This week it will be my first week where I am enacting my 3-day stream week. I'm going to be streaming on Wednesdays as well. I got the go ahead from the Queen that it's going to be okay. So I can do. I'm going to be doing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays on the stream as we pushing for the big 250 over on Twitch. So because if we get that, I get to do. If we manage to get 250 followers on Twitch, I am going to do the Iron Man Yukina Shiny Hunting Challenge. 12 hours, 5 games, 1 shiny per game. And if I can't accomplish it in the 12 hours, I have to do the 1 chip challenge at the end of stream.
What is the 1 chip challenge?
Hold on. The 1 chip challenge. I know you're about to explain what that was, but I have to tell you this story.
Go ahead.
I received a Discord message from my oldest kid going, "Hey, I survived the 1 chip challenge." I looked at my watch. I'm like, "This dude's at school. What do you mean you survived the 1 chip challenge?" He did the Pocky 2023 1 chip challenge. Right? It's like, well, that's awesome. That means if you could take this, we can do atomic wings at Wingstop because those things are nothing compared to the Pocky challenge, right? And slowly he fell into madness as far as that's concerned. I got messages going, so maybe this wasn't such a good idea. This kind of hurts. And then I get a call from the school nurse, and I had to drive up to the school. And I walked in, and he had that stare off into space. His face was sweaty, and he had the armpit sweat and everything. And the air conditioner was on. Like, we're not even to the hot season yet. Just sitting there, just staring off into space, questioning his life decisions. And I walked in, and I said, "What did we learn?" And I didn't do anything else. And he goes, "Don't do stupid stuff at school." I was like, "All right. Was this at least recorded? Can I see it?" And he goes, "No." And all 3 nurses came out. I was like, "I told you should have recorded this. This would have been great." Like, it was crazy. Anyway, so yeah, it is literally like multi-million Scoville chips.
It's just one. No, it's a chip with the Carolina Reaper like infused into it. Like, it's the hottest chip on the planet. And the name of the game is, after you eat it, you have to let the burn happen if you want the top level of pride for an hour straight before you drink anything.
Is it an hour? I thought it was 30 minutes.
I was reading the side of the package. It's an hour.
Yeah, no, screw
How about
that.
no?
That stuff can actually give you cardiac arrest. Like, no. Like
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a chili head. I ain't lasted an hour.
You're a pro.
I'll give him maybe 20 minutes max. Because I did 10 minutes when I did the Scorpion Death Pepper wings.
He did 20 minutes.
Too poor baby. You know, if you're not ready for that kind of heat, that will kick your ass.
Well, he got out of school early, and we went to Brahms, and I got him a milkshake, so vanilla milkshake, and that seemed to make everything go away. And he went and he laid down for a while because the pain stopped.
Poor thing. Oh my god.
I watched a video of a dude earlier today. There's like this tribe where they've got these gloves full of like the most painful.
Oh,
the bullet ants.
Oh, the
yeah,
bullets.
the bull ant glove.
Nope.
And they can't
Yeah.
flinch. They have to just take it.
Yeah, those people are way stronger than I will ever be. Hats off to them.
Isn't that like their coming of age ceremony? Like, you're
It's
a
a
man
rite
now?
of passage for them.
Yeah.
Welcome to adulthood. You've got responsibilities. How about we put you out of commission for the next week and the inability to use your hands?
Good luck taking
So you could be a productive member of our society.
Oh, magic pain glove, give me your wisdom.
Yes, Rugaldorn.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's what we got going on, and we're at 211 right now, so we're still a good ways away from the challenge actually happening. I've been looking for one chips, that thing for a while now. I think I found some at my local FYE store in the mall. If not, I gotta hunt down Amazon. They're like $20 a pop.
Yeah, I got a link. I can just send it to you after the podcast. Because
Perfect.
I had to tell the wife what that was. The one chip challenge. What is that? And I showed her. She goes, "Oh."
Dude.
Oh. So yeah, no, I'm down for it. I hope you get 250. Which, by the way, once our channel reaches 250, nothing special will happen. You get to enjoy us every week like you normally do, and I will continue to do art streams and play games where you are not the hero, you're just the dude.
I just like doing stupid human tricks. That's why I do that
Dude.
stuff.
Bomb Redeemer has returned to streaming. He's even made a schedule. It is sexy.
I have-
Bomb, tell us what's going on with you this week.
Nothing.
Stand up.
Well, that fixes that. Oh, no. Now Nintendo's going to demonetize us.
All right, that's it. That's a podcast ruin.
My bad.
You just killed the whole thing. Good job.
Please see the
no,
admins. They wish to have a word with you.
I've been getting back into Stationeers a lot lately. I've owned this game for, I think, 2 or 3 years now. I've barely played it. I don't know much about it. And 2 good friends of mine recently got the game. And we've started playing survival in it, to the point where we rented a server and we started playing. I was going to stream yesterday. I was going to stream tonight. Yesterday, apparently, our server was hosted in an alpha environment through, I'm not going to say their names, but I would love to say their names, Citadel servers.
It rhymes with Citadel.
And apparently our server was hosted in an alpha state. Some technician in their IT field decided that they need to fix that and take us out of the alpha state, which deleted the world and rebooted the server. So
perfect.
What we were doing for the last week is now null and void.
There we go.
So.
Sad trombone noises. We need that somewhere. I mean, if you find the sad trombone. Yes!
There it is.
But it's no big deal to me because I fucking love this game and I've been looking for a reason to play it and I've been looking for something fun to stream, and this game has everything from silly shit that can happen to I can blow up the entire base to I can run around and be doing too much and not notice, oh, I'm dying. So it's like it's the perfect combination of everything in a game for me to stream.
Perfect.
At some point, I will have to read your review of the game on Steam.
Yes.
Because this game is rather entertaining. And Bomb Redeemer has a very unique way of presenting reviews, we'll say.
Now I gotta go look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find his review easily enough.
Friends. Oh, if I just go to his page here, there's Bomb Redeemer currently playing Stationeers. In fact, if you...
Oh, reviews. Here we go. Aha. Raft, Starbase, Stationeers. So this is early access. This was a number of years ago. This was in 2018. I'll try and do this justice. So let me just start off with a brief introduction to what is about to be one heck of a story. I was looking at this game for a little while after playing and loving Space Engineers, only to be locked out after 800 plus hours of gameplay because they no longer supported DX9, then finding out that Keen Software House is no longer supporting Space Engineers and is seeking a replacement for the joy that game brought me. This game seemed to foot the bill. So I buy it. And this SE this is SE mashed with Roblox. It's the most difficult survival game I've ever played to date. Not difficult in I don't have a clue what to do, more difficult in terms of how do I do it. Before you say it, yes, I played the tutorial 3 times, only to make a muffin 3 times and not be able to proceed from there. That was a legit tutorial thing. I don't know if it's still there.
It's not.
So with all that knowledge stuffed squarely into your cranial cavities, it's time to begin our journey. I spawn on the moon. Easy, right? Gravity, supplies, let's go. I figure out how to build things, learn what tools to use. Half an hour in, and I've got a shack with an airlock that doesn't function properly, but whatever. Solar power is up. I can charge my batteries. Yay! I go to take my oxygen tank into the building and oops, number one. Vented all of it into space. Lefty-loosey. Oops. Well, crap. Now I need to find a way to make more oxygen. Space engineer's logic equals find ice. So what do? Mine some ice. I get back to the base and drop it on the floor because, why not? It melts. My doors are shut. The base is now full of water. Really cold water. So what does the smart, innovative me do? First, freak out because there's volumetric water physics and my computer didn't die. Second, science. Ice plus heat equals 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. What do I do now? Go on, guess. I try to boil the water. So here I am in this little shit shack on the moon with a blowtorch going full blast on my heating unit that is also going full blast while I'm lighting road flares like it's the 4th of July. It hits 100 degrees Celsius. The water is boiling. I'm baking. The air is unbreathable. I should have stopped there and realized my mistake, but science! I die because I baked myself into human stew. So I respawn because that's what you do. I open the first airlock and lock it behind me. I open the second and bam! I got slapped in the face by a blowtorch. My suit is now ripped. The air is toxic. It's well over 500 degrees Celsius in there. I can't breathe. I'm baked like grandma's cookies at Christmas and I'm now bleeding. So what do I do now? More science. I grab my nitrogen tank, crack that sucker open, grab a dirty little blowtorch and turn that bad boy to full. Kaboom! My shit shack on the moon is now on fire. I'm on fire. The water is on fire. One of the metal walls fail, and me, the blowtorch, the scrubber, AC, the nitrogen tank, and the O2 tank all go sailing into oblivion. I died because my suit was ripped and I couldn't breathe. Best 2 hours I've ever spent in a survival game so far. 10 for 10 with science again.
That was quite a journey. Like, yo.
I can give it an award. What kind of award do you want, Bomb?
I give him a funny one. I needed to give him...
Seriously.
I'm going to give him treasure because...
Someone else gave me treasure. Some random person gave me treasure for
There you go. I have 219,000 Steam points that I never use. So.
Pretty much. They're the most useless things, just like my channel points. Which, by the way, I have a hydrate button now, so there you go. So what do you want?
Spam that hydrate.
Do you want slow clap, take my points, or warm blanket?
Surprise, mate.
Let's see here. Something that doesn't make sense. Fancy pants. There we go.
Like to review.
Give award. My balance 409,000 Steam points.
Good God.
There you go. You now have an award.
I won an award. What's
Yay!
it for? I don't know.
There we go. It's just stacked right next to the double treasure. Here's some fancy pants. Nothing says fancy like a well-tailored pair of pants. Award gives creators 400 Steam points given by one person. Okay, awesome. Cool. Yeah, no.
I like how you went British there for a second. One person.
Hold on. I'm going to snooze the ads. Want to skip the ads? There we go. Beyond that, I think anything else going on? If not, we'll move over to the barcode and see what's going on with that guy.
Nope, nothing else.
Okay. Barcode, what you got going this week? What you doing?
This week, a little bit more bouncing Kerbals off the ground. I've got a single-stage orbit space plane, otherwise known as an SSTO, that can carry a moderate amount of cargo that works fairly well. I'm going to be looking at making it bigger and better. I'm probably going to start playing some of my other Steam games because I do have 300 some odd games to play.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them is probably going to be Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, because that's a fun, janky game. I might head back into Raft and complete that 3rd chapter, but if I go back into Raft, it's 100% going to be building a new aircraft carrier.
Mega yacht.
Oh yeah, like my current boat is, it's about 100 meters long, and it just vacuums up all the trash in the ocean. You can't keep up with the amount of trash it collects. So the amount of chests we've had to build on this thing is obscene.
You walk into one room, and it's just chests, as far as you can see.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a door, and you walk through that door. And on the other side of that door is another room, and there's just more chests.
Because you can never have too many. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
Sweet. I kind of touched a little bit on what I was doing. Just picked up War Tales, which, holy shit. So I'm a big fan of like playing games where you're not the chosen one, and by that I mean like you're just a dude and you're just trying to survive in the world. So far, War Tales has actually hit that itch for me because you are controlling a band of mercenaries just trying to survive in the world that you're in. You can do the things, you can steal, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. It has a very XCOM-y type feel. I like the animation of everything. It's been fantastic. I spent about 3 hours with it last night with my with Serafina, and it's been really interesting. A lot of cool events. You have to rest. You have to pay your team. That was great. Right? It kind of made me want to go, okay, so I want to check out Outward as soon as I can, because I have that, and I've only played so far into it, and kind of did what I wanted. So I might start focusing more on games where you're just a dude. You're not a hero. Like even Dark Souls, you're just a tarnished.
I'm a dude.
Right?
He's a dude. She.
Yeah, pretty much. You're a tarnished, but you're the tarnished that succeeded in the thing, right? You're just not, oh, your name is the Nordic Cajun. Your coming has been prophesized by the coffee of old. We read it in the grounds, and you shall save the world. Meanwhile, Cajun's there going, bro, I just came for a beer. Can you stop this shit? I don't need this. I just got off work. Right?
I don't need this kind of freaking responsibility, man. Come on.
So I've learned I really like those type of
I didn't
games.
sign up for this.
Good news, War Tales is multiplayer, and according to Serafina, which, by the way, let me give her a shout out real quick, because she has some really good like strategy game type content, Fire Emblem, Gloomhaven, which I still would like to get with the Nordic Cajun and actually play. War Tales, she was telling me, was really good. We had an event last night where one of my mercenaries, let me see here, shout out SARAPHINA NOIRE. I'm shouting out does not exist. Let's see here. Did I spell it wrong? Damn it. NOIRE. Oop, there. So, one of my people was just like, man, I really wish I could just settle down and leave this life of mercenaries and do stuff. And you get some options. And it has consequences, or I say it has effects, not necessarily consequences. And the top one was just like, reduce this mercenary standing with another member. I'm like, okay, and you don't get to pick which one it is. But it was also the one that wouldn't reduce like the amount of valor that I got during the play. And I said, okay, just go ahead and do that. And I get this notification that the relationship between this mercenary and my pack horse, Pony, had deteriorated a little bit. I'm like, the hell? I told him to go express themselves to the camp, and she went over to the goddamn horses just like, I'm mad at you. And the pony's like, well, fuck you, I'm mad at you too. So a lot of cool stuff has happened, and that's really cool. Other than that, podcast stuff, I'm doing a lot more art streams. I'm getting better, but that's just what happens when you practice a skill like that. You get better and better. I made a ping beanie drawing, which was kind of cool to kind of go with Dankwart's Tea House Death Match, which, by the way, if you should ever want to do that, look up Dankwart on Twitter. His Discord server is linked in his bio. Good stuff. Other than that, more work, more sleep, more play. I'm now streaming 4 to 5 nights out of the week, and that's outside of podcast nights. So pretty much Tuesday through Sunday now. I might actually take out Sunday because I'm old. But anyway, that's me, and that's it for the podcast. We're going to do some post-show shenanigans. Nordic has to go.
I gotta go to bed.
That's right. He has to go be an adult and hop on the struggle buses tomorrow to go to work.
Yeah, but I gotta be up for 5 a.m. So I love you guys. You have a great night. Remember, don't be a dick.
That's right. Don't be a dick. Also follow Bomb Redeemer. I got his link in the title. Twitch.tv/Bomb Redeemer.
He's the bomb.
For more
Nice.
space stationeers action. Yeah, so you can see all the shenanigans live and in person. With that, we'll see you again next week for episode 31.
Good night and farewell.
Bye bye.